All right, latest proposal. Let's tax Canadians' principal residence. Now, this makes me really angry. Right now, under the principal residence tax exemption, you do not pay any capital gains on your home. It's really the only break we get in this country. RRSPs are fine, but those are capped annually. Most people are not retiring with $3-4 million in RRSPs. Most of it's going to be home equity. So your home is really the last line of defense against what I would call a radical left-wing socialist government here. But the group that's proposing this is called Generation Squeeze, and they're an advocacy group focused on housing affordability, fairness, and inclusion, and that kind of thing. So they argue that rising home prices have made it really tough for younger generations to afford homes. And absolutely, I agree, it's extremely challenging. But their proposal is to charge a 1% tax on any home valued over $1 million. Now, of course, these socialist groups, they always claim that it's only going to impact the top tier here. But it's bullshit, because in Vancouver, the typical home is worth well over $1 million. This would affect a lot of homeowners. In my view, such a tax would unfairly target homeowners because you're actually violating a social contract here. These baby boomers that worked so hard to build equity, pay down the mortgage. A lot of them have invested most of their life savings in that home. And most of them as well, I would argue, are paper millionaires. These are unrealized gains. And if they want to capitalize on those gains, they would have to basically sell and leave the city that they worked so hard to enjoy. And my argument would be, many of these people can't even afford their property taxes. They're deferring their taxes if they're 55 plus anyway. Give you an example, there was an elderly lady here, had a listing in Point Grey. She moved to a care home in Maple Ridge. Now, it worked out well for her, but you shouldn't have to leave your home to retire. But back to Generation Squeeze's perspective, it's a guy named Paul Kershaw. And I have nothing personal against the guy, but I can tell this guy is a socialist by his haircut. You can always tell these guys a mile away, and they always emphasize that these proposals, they're not about punishing homeowners. No. Instead they see it as a way to address this wealth inequality and fairness. And it's not. This is about envy. It's about anger. That's how the NDP got away with these speculation and vacancy taxes. That's how the Liberal government was able to get away with this changes to the capital gains inclusion rate. You used to be taxed on 50%, which was already too high. That's gone now to 67%. So let's target homeowners and investors. And of course, predictably, capital leaves. Nobody's holding a gun to anyone's head that they have to invest in Canada. And these guys don't seem to understand the concept of risk capital. When you invest in Canada, be it real estate, stock market, starting a business, there's a risk reward profile. And if you choose to rent and smoke dope and play video games, and you're not going to invest in housing or the market or in Canada, that's fine. But you should not expect to be rewarded. That's the fundamentals of capitalism and why it works. You take the risk and you get a reward. Bob Rennie has been warning about these taxes a long time. He just recently did an interview here, but he's been saying for years, I followed him, that an equity tax is coming. An inheritance tax is going to be coming because according to Rennie, there is $444 billion clear title equity in the Lower Mainland. Clear title, no mortgage. And Krista Freeland wants to get a hold of that. So, of course, what you have then is capital flight. You get less investment in home building. 1%, it's not going to stop there because now you've opened the floodgates to more taxation. It's just like the PTT. The property transfer tax has never been adjusted. Home prices have gone up exponentially, but it's never been adjusted to compensate because it's a cash cow. It's a cash grab for these governments. And once a new tax gets introduced, you can't reverse it because the government gets addicted. It's like heroin. Makes me angry. Anyway, shifting gears, recent article in the Financial Post. It states that the latest rate cut was like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. And I would agree with this. It goes on to say that what real estate really needs is to wake up the sleeping giants, sidelined buyers, and make no mistake, they are there. On top of domestic housing demand, Canada has seen its population rise by a record 2.87 million new housing seekers in just 3 years. To put that into context, that is more than the entire population of Manitoba and Saskatchewan combined. That's according to StatsCan here. So pretty incredible numbers. So pent-up demand is there. It's there, but it's sidelined. I've seen this play out before. People are taking this kind of wait and see approach, waiting for that catalyst. Might take another rate cut or two. I believe the next one's going to be in September. Could be in July though. More likely further towards September. But right now we're in a bit of a buying window, and I don't think it's going to last. You have a bit more inventory to choose from right now. I would try and take advantage of that. Last point, really appreciate you guys that have reached out to me over the years via my channel. I actually just had a call a few days ago. So I do get some business from this channel. And what I really find YouTube, and why I use it as a medium and it's really effective, it actually allows you to identify your ideal client. And I get some of my best clients out of this channel. Usually they've been following me the last 2, 3, 4 years. When I meet them, they generally feel like they already know me. We generally see eye to eye on a lot of things. These clients are usually homeowners or business owners. A lot of them are investors. I also work with first-time buyers, not as many recently, but a lot of these young would-be first-time buyers I talk to, they're just furious about the prices. They're seething with anger, blaming the foreign money, the money laundering, the greedy speculators, the real estate industry. I'm sorry, I have no time for that. The people that I'm dealing with, they're all positive. They're not complaining about these factors that are way outside anybody's control. They know that if they want to get into Vancouver, they're going to have to hustle. They're going to have to compromise and make it happen. It's going to be on them. Government isn't going to help you. Nobody else is going to help you here. So we tend to be aligned in our thinking, and that tends to make for a really smooth transaction process as well. So these clients that I get through this channel are absolutely fantastic to work with. And on that note, if you do want to book a quick Zoom call, hit that green icon. Okay, let's have a quick 20-minute consultation. Typically, once I've assessed your situation, I'll get you started up on my website just so you can kind of keep an eye on the market, send out market reports, that kind of thing, just to keep an eye on how things are going. As always, I'm Jay Coupar, and I'll see you in the next video.